Hey, good morning from Casa de Cesana. Coming to you live from my bedroom. It's freaking freezing in here. I mean, I got a little heater going. The whole house stays pretty warm. I've got updated windows, but I've got this 8-foot slider from the 70s still in my bedroom, so it gets hella cold in my bedroom. So I'm super geared up. But I run an electric heater through the night and in my bathroom. It's all good. It's kind of trippy being home. Uh, yeah, I still have some habits from being in the hospital. Like I feel like I'm still on my IV. You have that, you're tethered to that line. Whenever I wake up in the middle of the night, I'm kind of like trying to check my line, but it's not there anymore. And I still wake up at 3 o'clock, 3 to 4, where they would normally do a blood draw and check my vitals. And then kind of every 3 hours they're waking you up and checking vitals. So I still do that. I wake up at 3 to 4. But yeah, I'm getting used to it. My goal is this 2 weeks is to get super healthy and just to load up on a ton of good nutrition and get my weight up, because basically I'm going to go to round 2 chemo. And so I think that's what I need to do. So I've been eating as much as I can, really good, just big scrambled eggs, a lot of veggies, tons of garlic. I made a huge pot of spaghetti sauce, meat sauce yesterday, tons of garlic. Kind of cheated with a little jar of red sauce, but whatever, it's all good. Tons of onions, veggies, and just huge cloves of garlic, just like half a bag. Those bags you buy, I just like the whole chunk in there. And so that's good. That'll last a couple days. And another thing I do is I make soup. I kind of cheat with a can of soup, but I add to it. I add some couscous, and the thing is bone broth. You got to use good bone broth. The bone broth is like the healthiest thing you can put in your body for protein when you're trying to gain some weight, get some protein in you. And you want to use really good quality bone broth. It's not cheap. You got to use the stuff out of the refrigerated section, and it's going to be in like a gelatin state. If you've got the gelatin stuff, you got good bone broth. Don't get it confused with just broth. Broth is nothing. That's just salt water. You need bone broth, and it's not cheap. I mean, even if you got the little kettle fire stuff out of the dry aisle and Safeway, it's better than nothing. But the gelatin stuff in the refrigerated sections, what you want. Don't skimp on it. You're trying to, it's your nutrition. You're fueling yourself. And I learned that from a surgeon before my mom had her stage 3 cancer taken out of her. What did she have? It was not her colon, but I can't think of it anyway. So kind of down by her gut. So anyway, that surgeon told me prior to the surgery to do that, to use bone broth and give her tons of soup. And it worked. We got mom super healthy. So I'm doing the same thing. I just want to go in there super healthy, because when I go through the chemo again, they're going to kill my blood. They're going to kill my immunity. I'm going to lose weight. And so the healthier I am, the more juiced up I am, the easier it is going to be to get through that chemo. And, everything about your body you need in tip-top shape before you go in for chemo. For me, as all I got a little hemorrhoid issue, a little bungholio issue. So I'm heavily concentrating on getting that thing deflamed and just all happy again. And I'm doing a good job. For me, that's sitz baths, just a little tub you sit in of warm water. Anytime, I do it probably 6-7 times a day, a lot. I'm just hanging out in my room here. I just made some breakfast. My mom was getting up. I ran out there, made a little oatmeal. I just use fast oats. I like throwing flax in there. I like throwing like a tahini in there. I like throwing or sunflower butter, and a little maple syrup in there. Just kind of, juice it up a little bit with, that flax is super good. And so that's what we got right here. Where the hell is it? Can you see it? Just getting ready to eat that. Tons of blueberries, bananas. So that's a good way to start my day. So if you are somebody going into chemo, I guess any form of chemo really, but for us with a blood cancer, where they're going to give you chemo to kill your bone marrow and your immunity, I think it's ultra important to get super healthy before you do that routine. I kind of did that going into it, but I didn't know. I'm a little more experienced now. So that's kind of what I wanted to communicate today a little bit, is about getting healthy before your chemo run, and being in the right mental state. You got to be stoked. You got to be positive. You got to be strong. They're going to go in. They're going to hook you up. They're going to put that PICC line in right to your heart, and they're going to start right away. It's insane. It's just, PICC line in, a little heart test, and next thing you know, you got a bag of chems pumping into your system. And that first day or two, you don't feel much. You feel good. You're like, oh, chemo, it's easy. And then, boof, all of a sudden, it starts hitting you. You start the nausea. Everybody's probably different, but my experience was nausea and a lot of bloating in the stomach, and super painful bloating. And they'll send a nutritionist in to talk to you about what you're eating and how you're eating. And I learned a lot from that. And what I learned for me was to minimize the bloating. I had to cut the fiber out. And it kind of sounds counterintuitive because you need the fiber to poop right and this and that. But the fiber was creating mass amounts of bloating. So like all the lettuce and all the weird things, I had to go for a more of a soluble fiber. And that helped a lot. So, those are the things to think about. Listen to that nutritionist. You think, oh, it's just a nutritionist. They're coming in talking about food. No. She's going to dial you in on what to eat, what not to eat, and in order to get your body feeling better so you're not suffering, so you don't have to get on the Dilaudid, so you don't have to get on that Oxy. If you can avoid getting on those things. You absolutely want to avoid getting on that stuff, because it'll back you up, and then all of a sudden you're not shitting right. You're going to have to start taking Miralax and this and that, all this other stuff, and then you could flare up another problem, which happened to me. I don't know. Everybody's different. Maybe some people are operating perfectly down there. I don't know. I think by the time you're 59, 60, you got a little something going on. But anyway, so that's that. I'm just chilling in my room. I'm hunkering down in my bedroom mainly. Spend a lot of laptop time plugging into work, reconnected with a lot of people at ABCO. They're super supportive of me. And so I'm re-engaging in projects and things again. Feels good. Make a little bit of money, feel like I'm contributing, helping out. And so I like it. So that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm trying to get my house dialed. The refrigerator was just full of, expiring food, this and that. The caregivers, I don't know. They're not, some of them are super on it. Some of them they all have their specialties and what they're good at. But I had to purge a ton of food and cheeses and yogurts and just things, the date. Anyway, purged food, reloaded, get that pantry super loaded up again for my next 3 weeks or whatever that I'm gone. And that's how, for me, I got to prep. I'm not married. I don't have anybody here. I don't have any support here, so except for my caregivers and my mom. So I got to make sure everything's dialed. I am working on just a bunch of little things broken in the house, trying to fix it, trying to get the house a little bit more dialed for mom in case she can't walk. I'm working on those projects. Whenever I leave my bedroom, I wear a mask. I'm super paranoid about getting sick. I do not want to get sick at all. I can't afford to get sick. I can't afford any problem It'll mess with my round 2 chemo. It'll delay it. And so I want to be a super compliant patient. That's what they call it, compliant. Some people are not compliant. They kind of give you a pushback like, oh, you sure I should do this or that? Or, hey, why are you doing that and this? No, no, no. You need to have full trust in your team, in your doctors, in those people that are coming in to help you. These are highly experienced people coming into that floor. That cancer floor is not, they're not screwing around. These are all registered nurses. These are all highly experienced nurses. This isn't like you got, LVNs coming in and just bumping heads and just on their phone or whatever. No, no, no. These are super serious people. They take a lot of pride in their work. And it shows. It shows. Those nurses are everything. I've said it before. They're with you minute by minute, day by day. Anyway, so shit, I'm getting into 11 minutes here blabbering about everything, but my goal was to kind of communicate how to prep for chemo. I'm a little more experienced now. If you're going in first time for chemo, get healthy. You got to hopefully have an appetite. You got to put down good, solid food. You got to get healthy, spend a little bit of money on yourself. Don't skimp. No, cut the sugar out. I think sugar feeds cancer. It's just my own personal opinion. Sure, you got to put some sugar in everything. I put some sugar in my oatmeal, not this one, but when I'm in the hospital, because it's my only option. Little sugar is fine, but not a ton of sweets, not a ton of cakes, not a ton of ice cream. Just cut that fucking sugar out. That's, it spikes your insulin. It's not healthy. You need good, solid nutrition. Do a little research, take care of yourself, take care of your body, love yourself. All right, guys, love y'all. That's really all I got for today. Casa de Cesana, we're checking out. Until next one, see ya.